Hey, what up? This your boy. This your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD. Thanks again for checking in on me. Thanks again for joining in for another live video that's going on here in YouTube. Of course, it's been a minute since I've actually created a live. I think it's been about 2 months, but I'm back, and I wanted to touch on this one subject that I wanted to touch on for brothers that have been actually sending me messages and had questions about this topic about vetting. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to create this video right now. Let me test my audio, make sure you guys can hear me well. Okay, you guys can hear me good, so that's a good thing. So I'll adjust everything. I know, I'm sorry, it's been a minute since I've done some lives, I've done some videos. You know, a lot been going on, especially for the holidays. Plus, you guys know that I got the family here, and of course, you know, trying to get ready for Christmas and now trying to get ready for New Year's and so forth. And you know how whole thing goes, especially with a foreigner, you know, a Colombian woman. So of course, she makes things a bit more tricky for the holidays. As well as right now, I wanted to make this quick video, though I'm a little sick. Sorry for the voice being a little raspy and pretty bad. So I'm gonna be clearing my throat a couple of times. I have a pack of Ricolas right here, but I took it 30 minutes ago. I was good for a little bit, but now I don't know. I might take it real soon. But nonetheless, let's touch on this whole subject of vetting women, especially foreign women, which is very important because one of the things is that, you know, I've seen in the past, you know, brothers are just going out to a lot of these countries and they think that, or all they know is that, hey, they got this passport and that they could go to any place and the women would just fall on the ground and just worship the floor that they walk on, which isn't the case. So I want to make sure to get you guys prepared in choosing the right woman, choosing the right mate. Of course, what I say isn't 100% that work out for anybody, that work out for everyone else. Because what works out for me would not work out for you. What works out for you would not work out for me. I'm just giving you guys some additional information, some options or whatever to help you guys out in your journey as far as searching for a wife or whatever. So one of the things is, I'm sorry, let me take one of these because I thought I was good at first. Now all of a sudden it's starting to catch up on me, and hopefully it doesn't affect me speaking as much. But I'm gonna say what up to FBA worship Dominicans. So what's up, man? Thanks for showing up. But I want to touch over one of the first things you want to do before you start going international, or you know, you start looking for the woman that you want. You want to make sure you understand where you're looking, what country you're looking at. You want to get all the information about that country. you want to know about the culture. So that's very important, is knowing about the culture, the type of women and what they grew up in. You know, after you made that assessment, after you've actually figured out where you're going to be going as far as searching for a wife or a mate or whatever, then, you know, like I said, the culture, then, you know, take that trip. What you want to do is take that trip to go out there, or you can start before you take the trip, start pipelining, which a lot of people do. What they'll do is they will actually jump online to a lot of these websites, and they will start, you know, seeing what type of women that are out there that are single. But before I go touch on the whole website situation, I'm gonna give you some of the red flags of what I see, what I deem as red flags from women, especially when you go foreign. Everybody's list could be different, doesn't matter. This is basically my list that I have compiled. You know, so one thing is that after being out there, a lot of these countries, the first thing is party girls. Girls that love to party. They're always on the scene. They're always out there. You know, you'll see them every other day partying. Doesn't matter, drinking and so forth. Of course, you don't want that type of woman. You know, you got to vet these women just like what you do in the States. So, of course, if you're in the States, you don't want a woman that parties. Why? You don't want that. Number two, you don't want a dope head. You don't want a woman that does a lot of drugs, just drugs in general. I know for me, I don't want a woman that does drugs in general. So No, that's very, very common in Medellin, especially Colombia, out there. So you want to avoid those type of women. And of course, you want to avoid the pre-pagos, the hoes, whatever. You don't want those type of women. Who wants a leftover woman who been, doing stuff out there, who been selling themselves? That's the last thing you want to do. So, and then lastly, you don't want a woman that has a lot of kids. That's the last thing you need. If you're dealing with a woman, she got 2, 3 or more kids, whatever. Depending on your situation, you may not want that. Especially if you're single, if you don't have any kids. I understand if you have kids, that makes sense, but 3 is a little extreme, moving on. But I don't, I'm not trying to push for anything of that nature of saying, hey, it's okay to deal with women with kids, whatever. I'm just saying, if you go down that route, just be cautious. In so many words. So, so those are like basically the top things I would say to avoid right off the top. Next, well, I'm gonna say what up to Don Jesus. Thanks for coming through, man. And also for you guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. So that you guys can help me out to share this video out. Because the more you guys like it, the more the algorithm catches this video, and more people will be able to see this video. But going back to the whole thing of searching for a woman. So, let's say, for example, if you want to use dating websites or so, looking for women, the first red flag I always look for when I'm looking for a woman, or if I have done that in the past, just saying, in the past, whatever, are her pictures, are they too sexualized? Are they too provocative? Does she look like a normal girl, or does she look like she's out there trying to sell herself? That's very important, because we know in Colombia, a lot of women, they actually, there's a lot of pre-pagos that will be on these websites. And the last thing you need is to run into one of these women that's running game on you, and you thinking, oh my God, this woman is sexy. She is nice. But if you look at it, she's wearing all the stuff that, you wouldn't approve on here in the States. So it's the same thing in another country. Do you approve, how they dress? This type of woman is very important. I understand there is a certain aspect to the culture of wearing less clothing, but there is a point of the culture and what is very scampy that is like, wait a minute, this isn't right. So the next thing, you're saying, for example, the conversation is going pretty well. You got the hit with this woman that you like. After a couple of responses, she asks you for money. That's a big red flag. You don't want her. That's the last thing you want. A woman thinking that you're a Western Union poppy. You don't need that. So that's another red flag. As soon as I see that, I would have just dropped that woman, call it a day. She starts hitting you with the with the sad story about that her cousin, her brother, something going on with the family. They need help. She needs help. She helped them out, so now she needs help. Nah, I don't need that. I'm not looking. You're looking for a sucker. That's not me. I mean, there could be women that, hey, it could be valid, but still, you never know. You don't know who's the valid one, who isn't. I wouldn't give money to anybody I've never met in person. I always tell them that if someone would ask for money, whatever, and we're talking, I always tell them this: I don't give out money unless I've actually met you in person. I don't do nothing. That's just my excuse so that they can leave me alone about giving them money, whatever. But sometimes they'll try to press, and that's when I just be like, hey, I'm just blocking at that point, because I'm like, I'm not gonna give out money. I've never met you. I don't know who you are, what you're doing, whatever. Even if you video chat with me, I don't care. You can have you a boyfriend right there, that you're trying to get money from. It doesn't matter. This stuff happens. It doesn't matter. Happens in DR as well. We know that that's very big in DR. They'll be sitting there begging for money, and they have a boyfriend living in in-house boyfriend, pimp or whatever, and be taking your money. So I don't play that. Excuse me. That's the next thing. Now, as the conversation proceeds, as it continues on with the conversation with her, biggest question is, how is the conversation going? Is she dedicating her time to you? So what I mean by her time, when does she text you back? How long does it take? After you text her, does it take a couple minutes for her to text you back? Does she keep the conversation flowing, or does the conversation die after a while? All that really matters. So, like I said, it's very important to pay attention to these signs, that to see if she's really interested in you, or she's just playing with you until who knows whatever, or trying to get something out of you. So all that stuff really matters. So of course, just to reiterate everything that I've said, as far as looking for women, party girls, that's a red flag. Women that uses drugs, that's a red flag. Pre-poggles or hoes, red flags. And women with kids, as well as once you move on to looking for women online, that first instinct of you talking with them, if they ask for money, of course their photos really matter, what you see online, all that stuff matters. Next up, I want to say is that when you start talking with these women, are you video chatting with them? You want to make sure that you video chat with her. You want to make sure that she's real. You know, if she ever gives you an excuse saying that you know, her phone isn't working or something like that, I don't trust that. Right now, off the rip, I don't trust what's going on until you show me what's going on, because you never know what's really going on. There's a lot of con artists out there that's trying to get your money and so forth. So, you know, one thing I say is that just, you know, be cognizant of all that stuff that's going on. So make sure you video chat with her. How many times do you video chat with her? It's very important. Video chat with her, like if you at least do it 2 times a day, that would be great. You know, for me, I was talking to my wife every hour, and then this was before we got married and so forth. I was talking to her every hour, like all throughout the hour or so forth. We had all these conversations. We would video chat at nighttime. You know, that's how I knew what was going on. You know, that's one of the things. You know, a red flag is if she actually don't want to talk to you after a certain time at night. You know, that's a red flag. You may want to see why. You know, you may want to, you know, ditch her because she might be doing something at nighttime. You know, I've always done surprises calls, surprises, you know, video chat, you know, even pop up. I will pop up at times, you know, as we're in a relationship. I'll just pop up unannounced, you know, just to say what's up, just to see what's going on with her, just to see who's at the house, whatever. There's nothing wrong with doing these pop-ups just to make sure that everything's all good. So so that's basically, you know, what I see as far as choosing or vetting women. You know, you want to vet by what you see, what she's actually showing you, and don't just go off with the beauty. Don't go off with the words, you know, that she said. Just go off of what she's showing you, which is very important. You know, as much as I want to stay on even longer for this, you know, video, sorry, but this cold is killing me, and I'm sure you guys are tired of me clearing my throat and so forth. You know, but you know, I address. Oh yeah, down in Jesus. Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, I did have that. First, let me say what up to Warren's son. You know, thanks for coming in. You know, for saying, you know, great content. Appreciate that. Yo, what up, Howard? What's going on with you? Salute. Hit them bombs for you guys. And you know what? I forgot to mention that what Don Jesus was saying. It's very important what type of job they have, what they do. Because the last thing you want to do is have a woman who doesn't have a job. So where's she getting the money from? What is she doing? So that brings up a lot of questions. You know, what she was doing before she met you. You know, that's a red flag. That means that maybe A, either she has a boyfriend, B, either she's tricking, or C, who knows? I mean, I can understand if she's living at home with family, that, you know, that's a pass. But if she's just living on her own and she doesn't work, it doesn't make any sense. You know, how is she paying for everything? You know, so maybe she has a couple of Western Union poppies and she's trying to throw you in the mix so you can help her out. So yeah, that's very important. You know, so but it says right here, at her job, apartment, car, motor on video. Yep. Yeah. So you wanna everything. Call her every chance you get, and she's moving around when she's going to work, whatever you can think of, at home, late at night, during the morning time. You know what I mean? Just hit her up out the blue, see what she says. You know, all that stuff matters. So, but yo, unless you guys have any other questions or whatever, just let me know, but I'm going to be jumping off in a bit, like I said, since I'm, under the weather. But I'm glad I was able to at least get this video out since someone requested this video. I want to make sure you guys were well prepared, who haven't started, looking for women, who haven't started traveling yet, who are interested in traveling and looking for a mate, as far as this whole passport bro movement that's been going on. Now I'm seeing a lot of videos out there, guys out there making content for passport bros. And I'm seeing a lot of content from women being very upset because of what's going on. And they've been sending out a lot of shame. And it's crazy the amount of shame that I see that these women are throwing out there. And the funny thing is, I'm sure you guys actually noticed it, a lot of women are throwing this stuff out there. There's like 4s and 5s. A lot of them are overweight. They got those nose rings and looking like a bull. You notice that it's those type of women that have a lot to say, that we don't even want to consider. So that's one thing I can say, man. That is like, they're coming for us and they don't like this, because of the fact that, we're not going to be there available for when they decide that they want to look for someone. And for us, from what we've seen from traveling, we will never come back to dealing with that. So, all right, K-Mac. Hey, what up, K-Mac? What's going on? So, yes, have I been to Basel or Brazil? I've been to Brazil. I've been to Rio one time. I was there for a short trip for about 4 days. The issue is because for me is that I speak Spanish. So because the issue is that in Brazil they speak Portuguese, it made things a lot harder. Like for me, I was able to so I got stuff on my mouth. I was able to talk to them in Spanish, but when they start replying back to you, that's when it becomes to be a problem. So I'm planning on going back soon, hopefully real soon, to have a good time out there. But I know that that's like the land of a lot of people enjoy it. But my biggest issue is the language. That's the biggest hang up. But I'm gonna go back and have a good time. I did enjoy myself. I would say that. I love the food. I did enjoy the women, but I wanted to get more on the culture. But unfortunately, of course, you can't get too much off of it from 4 days. And of course, with me, I speak Spanish more than I speak Portuguese, anything like that. So we're that's their problem. Black men deserve happiness. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, and that's the main reason why even for me, as you guys may know, I've even stated my stories of what drove me to want to go, start going foreign. Was because I was definitely looking for happiness, and I hated what was going on here in the States. But for me, I didn't have any issues, finding women. It was the fact of finding the type of quality women that I wanted, and that's what I had issues with, because I didn't like circling through fat women with kids, things like that. It's like you build yourself up to be the best version of yourself, and all that's left are like 5 and 4s for kids and baby daddies and all that other stuff. I'm good. I'm good on that. So that's why I made my jump, was because I didn't like what the market had out there for me, where I was at in my location. So for other brothers, I hope you guys make the switch. Hope you guys already have a video out there about, preparing yourself as far as going overseas, what you need to do, get yourself right, get your money right, get yourself, meaning like your health, get your money right, the type of job and everything. So all that stuff matters, for whenever you're planning on going out there. So it's very important. but yeah. Oh, we got CB videos. Let's see here. Says right here, yeah, I speak Spanish. Been tightening up my Spanish. I don't have patience for a third language, but Brazilian women are fine. I know. The funny thing is, for me, when I first started traveling the way that I started traveling, I was actually learning both at the same time, Spanish and Portuguese. And I still kind of remember a lot of the stuff that I was learning, because some of it kind of almost sound familiar as far as saying certain things. But yeah, man, that's a whole nother ball game. I wanted to make sure that I perfect Spanish before I move on to learning a whole nother language all over again. because it's rough taking your time out to learn these different languages, especially when you don't really have someone right there with you speaking to you every single day. So that makes it even rough. I mean, nice talking to people on WhatsApp, video chatting, but it still depends on how you learn the language. Is a bit different. I know that everybody learned different, differently. For me, I learned through interaction. That's how I learn best as far as learning a new language. And I'm not sure how everybody else, how they may do it. They may be able to do it from apps, or they might be able to do it through school and whatever. But for me, it's all through it's all through excuse me, it's all through repetition and speaking with people. So actually, I could speak to this. Yes, did I take classes or use a software solution? So for me, first I started off with application. So I was doing an application app. I started with Rosetta Stone, and that was decent. And then I got bored of it. So then I started using Pimsleur, which is the audio version. So I was able to listen to it as I was working out, as I was, traveling, going back and forth to work, whatever you could think of. I started using that. But what really got me was when I started making relations, started creating friendships with other people from other countries. And when I started talking with them, that's when I knew it was better for me to do it that way than using the apps. But like I said, there's different ways you could do it. There's also apps like Duolingo you could use. For those of you that's actually interested, look those up. But for me, it was the interaction. That's how I was able to make it stick. I was able to listen to voice messages and going back and forth, and that's how I was able to perfect my language to Spanish. So it says, being cold here in Illinois, I'm heading to Brazil in March. Oh man, have a good time when you go down there in Brazil, man. It's gonna be nice weather. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's been cold as I don't know what here. And especially in Chicago, man, we just got out the negative, and today it was actually 40 degrees, so it feels like summertime. So I know what you mean. Have a good time out there, man. I'm not sure where you're going to go to in Brazil, but make sure you go, there's so many places you can start off with. I'm not sure how you are with the language, but hey, usually you can start off with Rio, if you only speak English. Okay, Rory Sunny said he did Rosetta Stone for Brazilian and Portuguese. Hey, how did it work for you? Biggest question is, did you learn? Did it stick? Was it good for you? I'm not for all you guys that are actually interested in, look into that. Look into Rosetta Stone. Look into Duolingo. Look into all those other things that are out there, that can help you out. Make a friend and have that conversation with them every single day. Make a pen pal. CB video FY, he says, I went to Bogota last October, had a ball. How is Cartagena? Is it safe? Do they do the drugging thing? It's been about, I take that back. I was gonna say it's been about 4 years since I've been in Bogota, but no, it's been about a year and a half since I've been there. I've actually had a good time out there, despite the fact that I don't like the cold that's there, that mountain air that just hits your body. And then, of course, a lot of the hotels, they don't even have heaters. But I've actually had some good time out there in Bogota, and especially, not only from the women, but also sightseeing, looking at the National Museum, seeing some of the stuff that's there. They got the Gold Museum for those of you that want to also see other different things. Check those out. There's a lot to do out there. Now, when it comes down to Cartagena, you know what? Cartagena is a lot safer. Although in Bogota, you might see those military with their rifles and so forth out there, but Cartagena is pretty safe. I've actually had I think I've been in Cartagena about 3-4 times, I would say. Each time I've had a good time, no bad experience, everything's been nice. You enjoy yourself out there. If you want to go out there, you'll have a good time. Depending on what you're looking to do, I could recommend whichever path you take. I have a couple of videos out there from doing activities. Only thing I haven't done yet, which I really want to do, which I keep missing out, is doing that mud volcano bath that they have going on. I keep missing that, but I went out to Bora Bora. I've been out to another island, small island. I forgot the name of it right now. I have the video out there. You go out there, you have a good time. you know, kick it with for women, you know, take a chica with you for some of those things, especially Bora Bora. And we talking about Bora Bora Cartagena, not Bora Bora, you know, the French, you know, not out there. So, you know, you have a good time. And of course, you know, you got the clock towers at nighttime. You have space. You have what's the other one? I can't think of the other club to go to, which I actually spent most of my time at. I didn't spend too much time in space my last time, but I can't think of it. But there's like so many discos to go to at nighttime, have a good time. You know, so definitely say go to Cartagena, have a good time. So right here, Roaring Sun, he says it sucked. I got better when I got around the locals, like you said. Yeah. And he's referencing about learning the language. You know, although it's nice to get you these apps might be nice to get you going, you know, get you with the basics, but yeah, it gets so boring, it gets so tedious that you just want to you know, you need something different, you know. So yeah, talking with people, it gets to be a lot better. You know, it's a whole lot of fun, you know. And you know, and thanks so much, Born Son, for the $9.99. Definitely appreciate that, you know, for definitely giving you know, chip it in for the funds, for the Passport Bros funds. Appreciate that, you know. So, but what I might do is although I'm still creating more of these videos, I'm helping you guys as far as finding women, finding wives and things like that. There is some videos that I do want to make, responding to a lot of the women that actually has, you know, detractors as far as the movement, which actually have on TikTok. So I'll probably be releasing that sometime soon. We'll see what's up. But nonetheless, hey man, I appreciate you guys for being here. You know what I mean? I'll be back. Hopefully when I come back, I won't be so bad. You know, hopefully I'll be a lot better with my voice and so forth. So with that, this your boy, the Solo Traveler RID. I'm out.